Hello and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, I'm in my craft room. I thought I'd give you a show around. I have got a great big pile over there that I've got out of the motorhome that I need to put away. So I don't know whether to, I'm not going to do that where you watch me put it all away and this, no, I'm not going to do that because one, my back is still playing up a little bit, but I have got like a back support on now, which is helping me a great deal. I was thinking of doing a little craft again today. I hope you liked the Zen doodle that I'd done. A lot of you have turned around and left me a message saying, oh, that was really good, I really enjoyed that, it was really easy. I'll be doing a few more of those. So as time goes on, I'll do little bits and pieces first, like little different patterns, and then maybe after we've done a few, I'll show you how you can put it in a bigger picture. So then you draw all squiggly lines, and then you refer to your drawings that you've done, and then you can work out and think, oh, I can put that in there, and oh, I can put that one in there. So yeah, but it was good fun. I loved doing that. It was amazing, and all the comments that I got was absolutely amazing too. I'm really pleased with that. If you've just subscribed to my channel, hello and welcome. So I'm going to give you a little tour of my craft room now, and you'll see the big pile of things I've got to put away. I can't believe how much I've got in the bag. See, every time we go out charity shops, and I'm like, oh, that's good. Oh, we'll have that ball of wool, or oh, that's a nice little something different. I love that. So yeah, and then when I come to go home, it's like, have I really got that much? I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you around some of the things that I've made and some things that we can make. And let's go. Let's go and have a look. So I'm going to show you around my craft room now. So here is my wonderful craft cupboard that I absolutely adore. Paper, paint, diamond painting, quilling, just all kinds of stuff in there. My paper cutters. But the lovely thing about this is on the back of it all closes up into a big like cupboard. So behind here, this is where I keep all my die cutters. A selection of craft books that I've got. These two beautiful paintings here are what my granddaughters painted me. So here's my table. This is where I was working the other day, and I did that little video. So I'll still set up there. The joss stick holders over the back there. And now, where my two lovely witchy poos are, I've got, I don't know if you can see it, I'm not going to move them. That is my die cutter. This is where I keep all my pens, my pencils. I've got pencils that I've still got from when I was a child, and this bottom one is just all bits of wool or yarn. Never throw any wool away, because that could start a little crochet project. And these bags here are all full of wool, loads of it, and I think I've got something like 3 of these. and they're just all full. Wool. My mum knitted that for me. It's my Gruffalo. I love the Gruffalo. And here's some of the other toys that I've made. I've had this teddy since I was 1 year old. Oh, sooty there. But yeah, this was my very first needle felting that I ever did. These are just some of the things. Now this I made years and years and years ago. I used to work in a preschool. We used to do the Easter parade. I do my drawings up on this table here. And then if I do any other work, and I love this, I found this online, it's lovely. And it stretches right over. So I can then have boxes underneath it, but it still look pretty reasonable. Got all paper in all those drawers, cardboard, crepe paper. It's some paper flowers. And they were great to make because they were out of an old book that had just seen better days. So I cut it all up. Got some old tea bags and then tea stained them all and then folded them. These are another one of my Zen drawings, but using white pens on black background, which are lovely to do. See what I've got in here. I love this book. Here's another one. They're just so fun to make. But I'll be teaching you how to do all this sort of drawing. I used the ruler in that one. And as you can see over in the back there, this here, oh dear, this is all out of the motorhome. So in here, like I said, I've got quilling. I need to have a bit of a sort through really, because I get things out and then I put it back in different places. So here's another one. This is one that I've started, but this is quilling. So yeah, that is my it's my craft room. And there is another room in here, but I won't be showing you in there because at the moment that's the junk room. So I need to sort all that lot out. But I think before I do that, I think I might show you a craft. So I hope you enjoyed that little tour. It was a little bit I didn't know what to show you really, but I just want you to just see my workspace that I work in. Yeah, I've got to sort that pile of stuff out. This is when I then just shove it, oh, that going there and that going there, and oh, maybe I'll put that in over there, you know. So what I want to do now is I want to show you how to do some needle felting. Now I've got a really good friend, Sarah, who lives in America, and she is forever saying to me, Sammie, please show me how to needle felt. And I go, yeah, I will do. And I haven't. So I am going to teach you how to needle felt. So I went online. I did have this little starter pack that was really, it was lovely. And I think it was really, it was not even a couple of pounds. and I think it was out of Home Bargains, and it was this little set. Went online onto Home Bargains, I should say, and do you think I can find it? No. So, and the reason why I can't use this little set is because I've taken bits out of it, which is not good. So I went online, good old Amazon. I was going to try and get something off of Temu, but I wanted it the next day, so I had to order. So I went, scrolled through, having a look, and I found something. Was a little bit disappointed in, I think I paid £4, something like that, maybe just a little bit less. Turned up thinking it's going to come in something like that. It turns up in this. And I'm thinking, right, well, firstly, there isn't going to be a sponge in there. Hopefully there's going to be other bits and pieces in there. So I opened it up. That is so flat, suction packed. But that's what I want to show you, what to make and what's in. I've not opened it. I was hoping it was going to be something like this size. But I don't think it's, looking at it, until I open it, I'm not going to know how much wool is in there. But I'm hoping that because it's all been vacuum packed, it's going to puff right out. But the thing with needle felting is when you stab, it compacts it. So this was like roughly about that sort of size. And then when you sort of like, because it's all going to be bouncy, and then after you've sat there, it's a great feeling. You're sitting there like, but one thing you don't do is look away when you're needle felting. Because when you look away, if you haven't got protective things on your like leather, they're like cut off finger, I don't know what they're called. And when I very first started needle felting, I'm sitting there needle felting away, and I turned like that. Ooh, ouch, a little bit blood. Stuck it right in my finger, so that wasn't good. But we're not going to do that, and I'm going to teach you how to do it the proper, well, it's not a proper way, you're just going to teach you how to do it. So let's open this up, but I'll also get out the other things that I use as well when I'm needle felting. Be back in a minute. So after about an hour trying to find, I couldn't find these last time. So I ended up needle felting without them. I needed to find my finger protectors. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you a very quick demonstration of how to just needle felt. I'm not going to do the little panda just yet. I'm going to, just so I can just show you the technique of how to needle felt. And this is how I learned. Cookie cutters, biscuit cutters, whatever you want to call them. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a basic circle. I think, see that, just a basic circle, just to show you how it all compacts down. And And this, like I said, oh, where is it? That's how it started off, and then you add colour after, and then that was my very first needle felting. It's just so relaxing. I'd gone to a festival, a few of us, and we used to go around and go try all these different crafts and that was there. So they gave you, oh, I can start dropping things now. Gave me a sponge, a needle, and some wool. Now when you make anything that's like this, you do like a it's like a base, because you don't want to get all your, I mean, you get all your coloured wool, but you don't want to make the whole thing out of that, because it will just waste your wool. So you get a base, and then you make the sculpt the thing that you're making into the shape that you want, and then you decorate the outside using the different colours and the different layers. So shall we go and have a go? I'll go and get myself all ready, and we'll start needle felting. When you buy a little starter kit, you normally get the hooks, a bit of this foamy stuff. It's not polystyrene, but it's not foam, and then you get your wool. So what I'm going to do now is I put my hook, not hooks, I'm not crocheting, I'm needle felting, to one side so that I can see them all the time. Finger protectors. So then when you're holding the thing that you're making and you then stab, you know you're not going to stab yourself in the finger. So here we go. So I've got my biscuit cutter, and with wool and needle felting, you never cut the wool. If you cut it, it then doesn't felt together very well, and you end up having bits sticking up. So you always tear, pull it apart and tear. So you get yourself a piece of wool, put it in there. Now sometimes you get two different size needles. They are different, they can be different on the ends, because one is for like rough, like putting it, compacting it quickly, and then the other one is to then put the final sort of like to make it a little bit smoother. So I'm going to use the longer needle. So all it is an up and down motion, just up and down. Don't go in and then angle it, because it will snap. See how much that's gone down already? Put your needle to one side, lift it up, that will come out. So you have to pull this, I don't know if you can see this as I pull it out. Put your cutter back on now. And carry on stabbing. And what's happening is all the fibres of the wool are locking together. And you just keep going around. Don't stay in one spot for too long unless you're putting in If you can see here, when I made the flower, if you keep going in one, it will compact it, and that's when you can then put your details in. But that's later on. So let's carry on stabbing. I just love that sound. So that is how you needle felt. So this is just a little demonstration and a technique and what you need to. You can add more wool. A little bit more. And it'll just interlock with a bit below. I wouldn't do this on your lap, because sometimes when you push through, it will go out the other end. So if you've got that on your lap and you stab through, you will go through to your leg. Pull it up. It will get to a point where if the wool won't interlock. So now as you're needle felting, you'll notice that it's not all together. So if you want to like make these sides, this is when your finger guards come in handy, but always doing up and down. And you can see it gradually forming a little shape. So if I sat there and I worked on that a little bit more, you'll see how it'll compact down even more. So there we go. That's just a little show of the technique of what to do. One thing I do yet again when I'm doing needle felting is sometimes my hands will cramp up, or I get a finger lock. Take my finger guards off and just give my hands a quick stretch. Helps out a lot. Anyway, let's just open it. What end? This end. Let's see if this 3 needles and the little pack. So I'm assuming what's in here. Oh, we've got pictures. So we make a ball. Put the band round. Okay. Oh, look how cute. But like I said, I don't know how big it's going to be. So let's start. So we've got the black, the pink, and the white. So normally what I would do is I would use the base first. So it's a creamy colour. And then I would then add the white over the top. I won't use my base colour because I want to sort of get the results in what size it's going to be. See now, look, these have all been cut. I know they've got to be cut somewhere along when they, so I just sort of fan them out a bit. And then let's break the white and then just, so it's not all in lines. Some walls you will get pieces of especially the base wall, you may get some bits of straw or something in it. So at the moment I'm just breaking it all up, just pulling it all apart, just so that then them ends will be easy. It should be okay on this See, like with any craft, everybody does things differently. I'm just showing you how I do mine. Right, let's put a little bit out. Right, finger guards on. Finger and thumb, I should say. Oh no, before I do that, let me just get some tissue. Let's put them on that plastic first. Now with the needles, if you run your fingers down that way, you're fine. But don't run your fingers up that way, because they've got tiny, I don't know if you'd be able to see on this camera, there's tiny little grooves in each of these. So when I get them, I always wipe down, because these are quite see how much is on that, and being white wool as well. Just when you're doing this, just be extremely careful. One, not to poke it in your finger, and two, not to snap. See, to there, up to there, oh, up to there is where the grooves stop. Let's put the finger guards on. Scrunch it together. I'm using the tallest one out of the three. Let's have a look. I think them two might be the same. It's a spare one. Right, and then you just start stabbing. So what we're doing, we're now going to be making a ball. Some of this I may have to like put on a bit of a speed, because it's going to take a few stabbies to get it into the ball. So I'm always going up and down. Even though I'm angling, I'm still going in and out. I'm not going in and bending. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do it too much, because in case I do snap it. And then I'll give it a bit of a squeeze just to get the shape. Now the reason why I put a little bit of wool to one side is when you have got your ball to the size you want it, there may be a few bits and like this is a little bit bobbly here, so I just put a layer over the whole lot, just to then, and then use a smaller hook to then have it like smooth it out sort of thing. A roll. Sometimes I squeeze it as I'm making a ball, but watching the whole time I'm doing it. Can you see how it's shrinking? Looks like a cloud at the moment. I'm gonna speed it up, I think, because you've got the idea of what I'm doing. So when I've come to the end of making the ball, I'll go on to the next stage. I don't know if you can, as I'm doing this, I'm turning it as and I'm going round, trying to keep that ball shape. As the ball gets smaller, it obviously gets a little bit harder. So this is when it's getting to this stage. This is where you need to be a little bit careful with your needle, because this is when you can snap it, because it's getting quite hard now. It's getting that ball shape. Can you see how it's needs smoothing out a little bit? So I think that'll do. And now what I'm going to do is add this other section of wool, if it doesn't stick to my finger. And I just wrap it round, and I get the smaller hook now, go over very slowly. Pulling it apart, just so it's a little bit smooth. So this section again, I'm going to speed up. Just spread it out a little bit. I mean, you haven't got to use all the wool. Do it to the size you want to do it. If there's too much, you just pull the wool off. Because that's got the cut end, I try to lap over, so then that's the way I try and hide and work that into the rest of the ball. So I'm going to speed this up, and I'll see you back in a minute. So there we have it. We have our ball made. I haven't used all the wool. I was quite happy with the size that it was. If you want to give it a bit of a roll. Look how nice that is when you add just a fine layer over the top. Just gives it a neater look. And as you sort of, you will go back to it. You'll think, ah, yeah, that's all right. Then you go, oh no, I better just do that bit there. And then you sit there for about another 10 minutes sitting there just doing more needle felting. But anyway, I'm happy with that. Give it another little roll, squeeze, and there we have the ball. It's going to be a nice little size actually. It's going to be quite cute. Now I need to make a band that goes round his middle. Unfolding the wool, I'm going to just take a section, pulling it slowly, and you can give it a little twist, not too much, because then you pull it apart like I just have. So then there's two ways you can do this. You can needle felt along like that, or I'll just give it a little twist, or put it straight onto the thing that you're making, and needles felt straight onto that, which I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to use my finer one, and I'm going to just very slowly dab into the black. Now what you can do is where you've got it sticking out the side there, if you can see, you just put it over and push in. Put it over and push in. This bit I tend to do quite slowly when I come to the details. So this bit here, you can see, slightly wider. So I push in and I slowly push in. So now, hopefully, it started to connect to the other wall. I just go down the middle first, just so then it's attached. Then I go along the edge and I don't really even take the needle out. I don't know if you can see that. Basically what I'm doing at the moment, I'm just literally going along slowly. Just making sure that that's... Right, let's turn it over and let's carry on going this way. So go along the middle just to secure it onto the piece of wool or the ball of wool. Slightly turn it. It can be a little bit fiddly sometimes, especially when it's something quite small. So look, there's a bit that's sticking up, so I just pull it over and then just carry on. It's looking good. See, it's a bit wider there, so when I've completely wrapped that round, I will go back and I'll try and thin it out a little bit, but I'm not going to worry too much. It's all, like I said with the Zen drawing, it's all part, like, nothing's got to be perfect. Right, so I want to tuck that in there. I'm going to just pull those few. See how where the ends have been pulled rather than cut, they go into the other wall really lovely, and then you can get a really nice join. Whereas if you've got it cut straight across, it can be a bit of a pain to... So hopefully my hand's not in the way of the shot. Wrap that over. So now we have a, well, it's his body, isn't it? Looks like a little belt, but it's not. It's his body, part of his body. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to very slowly, where's the join? Right, I want the join to finish up here. So I'm going to hold it down there and I'm going to pull just very, very slowly, not pulling the other fibres. And then I'm going to then just go round. Go very, very slowly and very carefully with your needle. And then we're going to then just tidy. You can pull it in, bring your finger over, and we're going to just, I'm just going to go round now and just tidy the ends up. So I'm going to now speed this little bit up, and then once I'm all done, we'll go on to the next part. So what I'm doing here now is slightly wider there, so I'm going to the edge and I'm pushing inwards, not too deep, because if you go too deep like I've just shown you, it will come through. Now need to be careful, because if you do that too much, the other coloured wool will come out the other ends, and you don't want that. So you just, at this stage when you're doing the fine details, just do it very, very slowly and not too deep. Give it a roll. And there we have his band. Right, so we've done that section. Now we're going to be making his eyes. This bit's going to be a little bit fiddly because they're really tiny. I've got a length there. Start off small with a piece of wool, because with needle felting, once you've felted it in there, it's really difficult to get back out, to a point where in some of the cases it won't be able to be pulled back out because it'll be so embedded into the other wool. So take a small piece, and then with the eyes that we're going to be making, you roll in the ball. This is when it now becomes really finicky. Now it looks really big, but it is going to become smaller, but I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to take a little bit more wool out, because you can add wool but you can't take it out. So I've made a little bit smaller. One thing I find with these finger guards, it makes my fingers lock. So get a piece of, get the black wool, roll it into a sort of a little ball the best you can, and then we're going to just make like an oval shape. Now sometimes I find with when you get these spongy things, it goes very spongy and it loses its firmness. I'm going to work on the edge here, being very careful while I'm doing it. I'm going to hold it down with my thumb like that, and I'm going to just needle felt and just put a few fibres together by stabbing the wall. Remember, up and down, up and down. Or if you're doing it the side, in and out, it's that motion. So as you make these, you can pull the wool over, flap it over, put it over like so. Right, now I've got to lift. I'm going to hold it with my finger. Start getting that shape. Pull it off. Looks all fluffy, so you can give it a bit of a little bit of a rub together just to sort of flatten it down a bit. So now it's got to this sort of shape. I'm actually going to put it on his head, and I'm going to work it and put it into shape on his head. Some people do that. Some people do the little round or the little oval shape first, but I find it easy. Once you get it flat, you can, but not too flat, I can then work with it a little bit better. So I reckon it's about there. Hold down, and I'm going to just put a few stabs in there, just so I know it's secure on his head. So when I turn it upside down, it's not going to fall off. And as I bring it over, I stab in, but making sure that I go up and down. A bit of a stab. If you want to make it a little bit smaller, you just push in from the side. Don't worry about all the little bits that are sort of like sticking out and that, because you can trim all them off after once you've completed your project. And you can just shape it to how you want it to be shaped. Right, so now we're going to go on to the second eye. So I've got my piece of wool again. I'm going to take them finger guards off because my finger's just locked up. Okay, right, here we go. So roll it into a little ball. I think I got too much there. Let's pull a little section off. Like I said, you can always add, but you can't take away. Still a bit too much for my liking. So I've got it into a little ball best as I can, and I'm going to just literally just bringing the ends in, taking it nice and slow, not rushing it. I don't rush when I'm making crafts. It's when you make mistakes is when you rush. Lifting it up gently. Hold it up a little bit with my needle, but not to do it too much because it will snap. I'm going to add it to the other side. About there. That looks about right. Let's give it a few. Let's hold it in place. So very slowly bring into the middle. And we'll just push. That into the middle. So yes, beginning to sort of take shape now. And once you sort of got it to the size you want it, you can then start stabbing away again. Just putting in the ends just to tidy it up a little bit. And there we have it. We're now going to go on to putting a nose in for him. This one. Getting your wool. You really don't need much for this little bit. Just roll a little piece up. And then we're going to put it, I'm going to just felt this one straight onto his face. So I'm going to just put a few stabs in there. Again, slowly. And I'm going to try and make that top bit a little bit flat. Then bring all the other... See how I caught that? I don't want that there. So I've lifted that out. I'm using my thumb as a bit of a guide here. And as you'll see, as I needle felt, it will get smaller as I push into the middle. I'm pushing quite deep with this one, not too deep so it comes out the other side, because I'll have little black bits coming out the other side. But I'm trying to make it so it looks a little bit like a triangle. So this will take a little bit of concentration. And I'm just pushing in to the side, if you can see that. Getting a nice straight edge there. I'm going to turn him round and I'm going to do this side, because his nose seems to be to one side, so let's push it back that side. Put a few of the other, but like I said, at the end we'll give it a little bit of a trim up, because you can see where it's sort of still coming here. But you just go around, you just go around and you just tidy things up. So now we're going to be doing this little bit of his mouth. So we're going to really just need the slightest of nothing to give it a bit of a twist. Now what I do is I lay it down like that, and then very slowly go in and just, when you're holding the wall like that and you press your needle down, you can feel the wall moving in your finger. You can feel it tightening up. Now as you can see, I've got a lot that side here, but I'm going to bring that back down to the other one, because what I want to do is, I might have done it a bit too long actually. I'm going to just needle felt in there with this other bit that was along the top. I'm going to split just got to just very patiently and I'm not going in too deep. I'm just going to pull that to one side as well like that, and I'm going to then just needle felt a little mouth. Just push it into shape a little bit. Now I'm going to pull that little bit of wool off there, and I'm going to fold that back over on itself, and then I'm going to just very slowly, making sure that I'm not needle felting in the wrong place. And then the rest of it you can just put back up into his nose, because that's the beauty about this craft. You can, if it's the same colour, yeah, it's a little bit different from the picture. So I'm going to just pull, I'm going to take my thumb protector off, and I'm going to just use my nail just to make sure that it's not pulling too much off. Fold that up and over, and I'm just going to very slowly and gently try and put all them little loose ends. But what I can do is at the end is I get a very sharp pair of embroidery scissors, and I'll go around and I'll trim all that up. It takes a bit of time, and I'm gonna just give it a roll. So we're now on the next section, which is this section here, where we're going to just add the pink cheeks. So I'll just pull a little section out. I'm going to give it a bit of a roll in the middle there. It's just under his eye. So I'm going to do it very slowly. Very slowly. making a sort of a dot really. As time goes on, you'll just learn little techniques that suit you. So I've got quite a lot of pink there, so just pull a little bit of that pink out because I've got far too much. I might be able to use that little bit for the other side. And we just push the rest of that in there. See how it all goes down when you felt it in. And then we have a little red cheek. Cute. There's some of these fibres that are sticking out, so I just pull some of them back in. But they can all be trimmed at the end. So I'm going to just use that, what I pulled from there. And I'm going to sort of line it up with the eye again. Got a rough idea where it goes. And that was plenty. More than enough. And it'll just go into... I'm not pushing in too deep because I don't want it coming out the other side. I have done that many times. Beautiful. And there we go. That's the next section done. Oh, we're now going to be coming up to the ears. So let's pull a section off of there. One bit. Let's try and get two bits that are really near enough the same. That's roughly about it. And then I'm going to take my finger guards off for this because I need to make a little sort of half a ball sort of thing. Now, is that going to be too big? No, I think that's going to be fine. So I'll just squash that up. And then I'm going to get the other piece and I'm going to do the same with that. So I've roughly got the same amount. It's not a circle, it's like a semicircle, but a little bit bigger. So I'm just making another ball, but not going to be, it's going to be like a bit of a flat ball. But let's just get the shape first. Let's get it sort of like, so it's a little bit compact. Give it a little bit of a roll. Let's see what I mean with how, after a few stabbings, how it compacts together. Again, it's just up and down. I'm going to give it a bit of a roll. I want to sort of make it so it's got a bit of a flat bottom, so then when I come to attach it, because I've got the finger guards on, I can hold it and do it gently through between my fingers. So now I'm sort of getting a bit of a circle. Let's measure it up. Yeah, a few more stabs. Just to make it so it's firm. And now I'm gonna just turn it over and I'm gonna put a few in the bottom without moving it. it's a little bit flatter. So then when you come to put it on now, it will look like that. I've got the ears. Now, I'm actually going to take my finger guards off for this one because I need to hold it. You line it up to where you want it to go, and then very slowly, without stabbing your finger, a few deep stabs into it. Just doing the, let's go to the back. Just to get them in place. And then line the other one up. This can be a little bit fiddly. You can, if you want, you can put another needle in and then hold it in place that way. Is that in line? Yeah. And then just hold it in place that way. So all I've done is I've just stuck the needle in and then gone round, but being very careful because now I haven't got my finger guards on. Just taking my time, not taking my eyes off of the needle. So don't have the television on or anything like that because you need 100% concentration. Then when you take that out, it's in now. It's stayed in its place. And then if you just want to then go round and tidy it up, pushing it in further. Just remember, slowly. So there's his little ear done at the side. I'm just going to put a few more in this side. Looking like a little panda. We need to make 4 of these oblong sort of shapes. 2 sort of slightly bigger and then 2 slightly smaller. Lay the arm one way and then lay the leg the opposite way. So anyway, I'm going to go off and make 4 of these little, well, 2 arms and 2 legs. What I did in the end, the 2 long strips that I pulled off, I'd got 4 pieces, but the 2 that were longer, I managed to do 2 arms, and I've made the legs slightly smaller. So I've not sort of compacted them too much because I want to be able to mould them and shape them actually on the panda. You lay the longer ones this way. So for this, again, I'm going to take my finger guards off. I'm going to use another needle to hold down in position. So now I'm going to do a few stabs into the side. If they become too flat, I can always add a little bit more wool, but I think they're going to be fine. Has that stayed? Yes. So now as I needle felt, I start squeezing them and pushing into like a shape. But this one I'm going to use a smaller needle, but concentrating not to stab myself in the finger, but getting the shape of the little arm. So his arm is in there. There we go. And then we're now going to attach the other arm to the other side. I'm going to put the needle into his little arm. So now I'm going to attach this arm now. Has it attached? It doesn't take much to attach it. So then all I'm going to do is just put a few more in that way, turn it round, and then so there's his arms. Now I'm going to just add his little legs. So get another needle, put it in the middle of the arm, just underneath, and then just give a few just to secure it there. You can feel, as you push down, you can feel the fibres connecting together. So that's one more little leg connected. Turn it over, and then we're going to just connect this little leg. See, at the minute it just looks all fluffy. So I'm going to just do a few in there. And it's attached. Shaping as you go along. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to get all the ends of all the arm and that. And I'm going to just tidy it all up now. So what I'll do now is I'll go and carry on, and when I've finished him, I'll come back and show you the end result, in like showing you how to trim all the loose ends off and everything. So here's our little panda. I had to add a little bit more into his nose because his nose had gone completely flat in there. So I've just added a little bit. All I do now is I just go round very slowly, just trimming off any of the loose fibres. But you'll find that when you make something like this, every now and then you'll pick it up and you'll look at it and you'll go, oh yeah, oh just do, and you'll keep doing that until you sort of like think, yeah, that's, because I mean he's got a lot of white work. He needs a little bit of I need to go round and like all trim all these little bits here, but before I trim them all, I'm going to just quickly give it a bit of a needle felt there. Push as much as I can in, shaping it with my finger, moving it about. It's a good thing about it. You can move things about. There's a big bit there that I just get a pair of scissors and I'll just. I'm really pleased with that. He's bigger than what I thought he was going to be. But if you want to make it into a key ring, because you do get the key ring pieces with it, but I'm gonna just sit him on top of the other shelf with my other ones. I do have little eyes that I could actually, if I wanted, I could put a little white bit in the middle and then put a tiny, I don't know if you can see that. So I could needle felt another piece of white wool on there and then add in an eye. Because all you do when you do that is you get your needle and you pull it in, wiggle it about a bit, and then put it in the hole. Because children aren't going to be playing with these, you know, I do glue them in, but I've not glued these ones in, just so I can show you and demonstrate the little eyes that you can actually get. But no, I'm really pleased with that. So that's my little panda. So if you want to have a go, why not? Well, I hope you enjoyed that needle felting. I tried to explain it the best I could. But if you fancy having a go of that, I'll put a little link below in where I got the needle felting from. It doesn't come with a sponge, so you can either pick up a little starter set, which I think you can just get a few different needles, some finger protectors in with a little set, or if you fancy just giving it a go by buying that little kit, you can always use a kitchen sponge, you know, like a washing up sponge. That's what I learned first on when I did it back at that festival a few years ago. So here he is, the little panda. It's quite sweet. Ah, it's a nice little size, but as a key ring. But like I said, you do get a key ring set to go with that, but I just like them sitting up at the top because I don't want to lose them. But so I'll just show you a few other things that I've made. I've made this one, and I love this one. It's got a strawberry hat. That was so enjoyable to make. And then I thought, I'm going to go a little bit, I'm going to do something different. So he isn't finished yet. And my mum keeps on, because this is for my mum. My mum had a little dog called Gizmo. He was really little. I don't know what breed he was. He was a mixture of a few, but he was a little character. So I needle felted one, but like I said, he needs a little bit. I need to just sort of finish him off a little bit. But there's Giz. Got to glue his nose in and everything, and sort all the fur out and make it all fluffy and look like. But yeah, that was quite interesting to make. There's some ladies that I watch on YouTube that make the cats and the dog. Oh, they're just amazing. Not quite there yet, but I will give it a go. But yeah, I need to just needle felt all round his eye and everything. JP's son Connor, he said, oh, I'd really like to have an astronaut. So I went, don't worry, leave it with me. So I looked at a few photos of astronauts, and this is what I ended up making. I am so pleased with it. I've just got to finish it off. He keeps saying, Sammie, have you finished my astronaut yet? And I go, no, because he wants me to put a name on the back here. But yeah, that was really, really good fun to make. And it didn't take me that long, actually. He's waiting for it longer and me finishing it off for me to actually make it. But yeah, I was really pleased with that. It's quite big, as you can see. It's like you can see my shoulder. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Please comment below if you enjoyed this or not, and maybe give me some other ideas. I've got a few that I want to do, but I just love reading what you're saying. Oh, have you tried this? Or have you ever seen this? I just love it. I absolutely love it. But I have also been doing I've got another channel called Zen Doodling Inspired by Nature, and I haven't put anything on there for a long time, and I know a few of you from here are on there as well, and I've actually managed to put one together, so that'll be going up either a day or two after I've put this one up. In the description below I'll put my other channel, so I will be doing a few more over there, but that, like I've said in another video, that's just literally with me just sitting there drawing with the inspiration by the nature. So, but yeah, right, I think I'm gonna go now because I've got to go and tackle that mess, which I'm hoping is not going to take me too long. It's pretty reasonable, and hopefully by the time you see me next, we'll be away. We'll be back out in the motorhome, so I'm really looking forward to that. So I've packed a few things that I want to do while we are away, and so remember, Sammie, which crafts should we do next? Anyway, you all take care and have a good one, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.